Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So of course, as you can tell, we have our brand new hood installed. We're super excited about it. Everything works amazing. And of course it extracts all the fumes from the activator, which is exactly what we wanted. And so of course, without further ado, let's rewind this and show you guys what all we did. So let's get started. So as you can tell, it looks a little bit different behind me, and we're actually really happy about this because it is install day for our brand new exhaust hood. Now, if you've seen a lot of our videos already, you've probably seen we've had like a small little duct there. That was always temporary, and so it took a while for manufacturing to get everything up and going with COVID issues and stuff like that. Anyways, we finally got time to get everything squared away, have a little bit of downtime, and of course, show you guys what all we're going to install. So we've got a brand new hood that we're going to be installing. It's a full exhaust hood. It's a big 24-inch fan. We're really excited about it because it's going to help evacuate a lot of the fumes and all of that away from the tank and go right outside, so that way it's all caught in the filters and everything. So a lot better system than what we had right here. Again, we knew that was temporary, but we at least needed something in there. And so now that we've got this, it is install day today, and so let's show you guys kind of what all we've got and show you what we're working with. So let's get started. So of course, that will be removed. We've got new lighting going into that. And so all of this will be removed, rewired, and we're going to have a much bigger hole than what that is right there. So let's show you guys the other part of what we've got. So we've got everything out right here laid out. And now again, we've got pieces and parts everywhere, but just to give you an idea, this is kind of what we're looking at here. We've got some side panels right here. We've got, of course, our back panel right there. I'm sorry, the top panel there, another top panel, and then we've got a back panel behind me, and then of course another side panel. And then we've also got tons of other ductwork and elbows and everything. So we are ready to go, ready to install, and we've already got everything, like I said, laid out, ready to go. So we are pretty excited. So let's go ahead, let's set this up and show you how this is going to work out. Here we go. So we finally got all of the bracing up that we need. This is all going to hold everything together. Everything is lag bolted into the rafters up top. We've got the hole cut out right here, and that way we have plenty of room for clearance on the actual fan itself. So let's take a look here and see what we've got all laid out here. So we have this all put together. Everything is bolted. Now, one thing that we had to remember is whenever we get this up here, we cannot access any of these screws here or any of those screws back there. So of course, we had to put everything together before we put it up one by one. And I'm not gonna lie, this thing is massively heavy. So again, I had to get the same thing back here. We had to put everything in through there, so that way everything gets put together to where if we put it up, then everything is already there that we cannot access. And so now we can of course access everything through here. We can access that row right there. We can pull this back just a little bit to access the back side of that. So this is what we've got here. And so now we are going to take this and go ahead and set it in the room, get everything ready to go, and everything ready for installation. So here we go. All right, so here we are. We finally got everything up. Had a couple of issues with some of the areas right up in here, so we had to get some panels remade. Not a big deal at all, but we've got the lights hooked in, everything is ran, and of course they're just daisy chained in. But biggest thing to see here is that we actually do have a little bit different setup than I originally was going to do. You can see here that we have all of the unistrut going all the way across, and so what we've actually done is we've made it to where we just did 3 unistruts. We have one in the back, one in the middle, and of course one in the front. And so the original plan of trying to get this to where a screw went up in there and all of that, like once we got it all up, it was almost impossible to try to figure out where all that was going to go, and so we decided to scrap the idea. It was way too crazy of an idea, I guess you would say. It was way too much over-engineered, and so we ended up going with this. And so what we've got is a very simple process of, we have 3 pieces of unistrut that are held on with all thread at both ends, and so we have one in the back, one in the middle, and of course one up in the front, like I was saying. So that way everything is held up really well, and it spans all the way across all of the rafters that are going this way, all down the entire roof. And so I'll show you guys a little bit up top of what we've got as well, so that way you can kind of see. All right, so we're up on the top level here. Of course, we have a part where we can actually walk all the way across this. And so the one thing to look at is like I was saying before, we have all of our bracing going this way. And so of course we've cut out for the actual fan itself. And so what we did was we are evenly distributing the weight all the way across all of these, across all of the actual joists that are in here. And then it's even more distributed because we have all of these, the tongue and groove that we are walking on, that is helping distribute all the weight as well. So now, instead of all of this heavy unit being set up on maybe 1 or 2 rafters, we are allowing it to go across, essentially, I believe, if I remember right, it was about 5 or 6 rafters, which is way more than enough to support the load that it has. And so then whenever you distribute it across that panel, this panel, that panel, another panel, it just continually helps strengthen everything. And so you can see here we've got all of our all threads stuck up on each side, and of course we need to tighten all of these up, make sure that everything is tight, ready to go, and then we can put a cap on them, just so that way nobody will come in and of course put their hand on it, step on it, anything like that. A little bit about the exhaust fan. Exhaust fan is pretty simple, bolt on, everything was bolted in. Everything came out really nice all the way around through here. That was of course part of the original hole, and then now we have everything bolted in here. And what we've got is mainly just a very simple installation of a couple of joists going across, a couple of pieces of unistrut going across here and here, and then we have our all thread coming down and hooked into right here, so that way it can still move back and forth and all of that. And then the same thing here, we have this resting on the unistrut right here, so then that way everything is there, and of course those are all hung up top. And then of course coming out, we have all of the area coming out right there, and then of course the louver on the other side. Now one thing to look at is people are probably asking, well, this looks like a lot of excess just going from up and then over and then all the way out. And trust me, I wish I could have went straight up and straight out, but I could not. And so it was actually cheaper to move all the duct and just have it go out another way, because we have a downspout that is actually sitting right here, and it is of course right in the way of these 2 areas. So we ended up having to move it down a little bit
not a big deal. We still had plenty of clearance on the other side over here, so everything was good on that. And so now that is pretty much it. We still got a few little pieces to button up and finish up, but just wanted to give you a quick update on what all we've got, why we did it, and of course how we did it.
So of course, we've got everything finally finished and we cannot be happier with this. So as usual, I probably did a little bit more overkill than probably what we need. We probably could have had just a small little duct coming out, just like what we had, maybe a little bit bigger because of course it did not flow enough CFM. But in order to stay within the regulations, make sure everything is in coordination with all of the stuff that we need to go by, we went ahead, we had a custom one built and I definitely love it. Couple of things to remember, of course, this is all stainless steel. So of course we're working with water. We've got all the water and the humidity all around. We did not want to worry about anything as far as rusting or things like that. So we went ahead and we got everything made out of stainless steel. Now, of course, the manufacturer that we used on this is going to be Cook Manufacturing. They did a great job on this. Had a couple of hang-ups at first on a few of the designs, but we got everything squared away, ironed out. Everything came out looking really good with this. So of course we've got our filters here. Now these are actually commercial filters that you can use for like a fume hood or something like that. They are washable. Later down the road we will probably change these out and do a little bit different type of filter just for our sake, but these actually work still really well with what we've got going on. And then of course we do have the lights all the way around. If you saw this before, we did have a lot of light and everything was great, but having these lights right here on this area like this, that really helped out and of course made everything super bright so we can see and of course know exactly what we're doing and what we're seeing and know if we need to change anything. So that made it really great. Of course, with everything being all around the water right here and of course with everything being sprayed, we wanted to make sure that safety is of course number one. So these lights actually are vapor-proof lights. So of course, dust, debris, water, things like that, it makes them to where they are all vapor resistant. So that way, whenever we are spraying everything in here, we don't have anything as far as electrical shocks or, you know, things like that where it could possibly create an explosion or anything like that. So definitely want to make sure that safety is looked at for these lights in this. And so that way, as it's sucking everything up through here, we can make sure that everything is good. So of course, we've got everything set up with our fan itself. Now, right now, it is just a push button start and stop. And so this is actually set up on a VFD because we bought an overkill type of fan. We bought a 24-inch fan. Now we do not need all of that CFM that the 24-inch fan comes with, so therefore we can dial it back with the VFD that we've got supplied. Now of course here in the next couple of weeks we're going to be trying to get everything set up with the VFD and our programming on our screen and PLC that we have right now. So then that way we can literally just hit a button and everything will turn on. It'll all be automatic, which will be really great for integrating the entire system of our tank, the automations and everything like that. So we're really excited to have that. And so of course the other thing is with the VFD we can adjust the speed and everything like that. So if we need more suction, we can of course create more suction, and if we need less, then we can create less. And I will say this is definitely a big upgrade because as this thing is sitting here running, you can literally be talking just like this and you hardly ever hear it run. So to show you that, let's go ahead and kick this thing on and show you the end result. So of course this is running right now. Now of course we do have a little bit of a hum, if you will, but nothing major whatsoever. And of course you could sit here and have a standard conversation with this thing running, and it is no louder than probably a hair dryer on low, or even just, you know, just some background noise even. So it definitely makes it really nice. It's super quiet. That is one of the main reasons why we went ahead and went with a fan and a hood like this. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. We'd love to hear from you on anything Hydrographics related, as well as letting us know what are your thoughts on the brand new hood. Would you have done anything differently? And of course, if you need any design changes, or not changes, but if you need any designs or anything like that, definitely check out Cook Manufacturing. They do a really great job of sending you a full 3D mock-up and everything to make sure that it fits exactly the way that you want. If you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button. We love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips and tricks. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.